Your Excellency, Mr. Samit Malik, Dear Excellencies, Consul Generals, dear honorable guests, diplomats, representatives of business, academic, and cultural circles, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear friends of Russia, dear colleagues. We have gathered here today to celebrate the Day of Russia. Thank you so much for your valuable presence. Probably you know that this holiday was introduced in 1994. As President of Russia, Vladimir Putin said, despite its recent history, this is a day of special significance of our country, of our people. It signifies not only radical democratic and economic change, not only event in the recent history of Russia, but also the entire powerful age-long history of our nation. Russia Day is an occasion for many Russians to demonstrate national pride, celebrate Russia's economic and social achievements, and pay tribute to famous Russians. 1915 is a special year for Russia, as the country is celebrating the 70th anniversary of the victory in the Great Patriotic War. Many of you have already attended a number of consulate functions commemorating the tragic and glorious event of this war. May 9 is known in Russia as a holiday with tears in the eyes. It is a holiday because this day marks the victory over Nazism, the victory that saved millions of people's nations' lives, saved nations from humiliation and slavery, murder and crime which only a perverted mind can invent. But we cannot help with tears, in this case proved to be our true friend, who came to share with us the sacred day of May 9th. It is very regrettable that some officials are obsessed with the intention to spoil Russia's image using the recent event in the war. But we see that our reasonable friends also draw right conclusions. This will be seen in July in the St. Petersburg Economic Forum, which will be attended by VVIPs from several countries, including India, and then in July at the BRICS Summit in Ufa, the geographical center of Russia. I would like to outline that the summit is very important for us, and I believe for the other BRIC country states, their partners and friends too. Dear guests, once again, thank you for your presence. Dear Russian friends, dear Russian colleagues, allow me to once again congratulate you on Russia Days. Please enjoy the evening.
We kindly ask His Excellency, Mr. Samit Malik, Additional Chief Secretary, Protocol, General Administration Department, Government of Maharashtra, to proceed to say a few words.
Good evening. So congratulations to Alexei Novikov and to Alina Novikov and to all the Russian nationals here on the occasion of the Russian Day. Before I start my speech, I'd like to congratulate His Excellency the Consul General for having been promoted. He's promoted as Extraordinary Plenipotentiary of the Russian Federation First Class. So that means he can go as an ambassador anywhere in the world, but I only hope out of my heart that we don't lose you. And congratulations. Well, India and Russia are very good friends. It's It's the worst kept secret in the world. Everyone knows it. Along that, you agree. We all agree. I mean, if you look back, when India became, if you look back in Russian history, when Russia was called Russia, before the Russian Revolution of 1917, we had economic ties, cultural ties, we were close. Then when Russia became the Soviet Union in 1917, we became even closer. And when the Soviet Union went back to being Russia, we continued the close ties. So either as Russia or the Soviet Union, India and Russia and the Soviet Union have always been very close. When those of you here can remember the last 30, 40 years, at that time, we had to go through a number of conflicts. And if there's one country in the world that stood by us and stood like a rock and stood unconditionally, that was Russia. And India being an ex-colony, we had a lot of problems of building up the economy, building up the infrastructure, and it was Russia again that took the lead in helping us. Nehru said that we must build the temples of modern India, all the great infrastructure projects, and the Russians came forward. And they came forward something like that Matrushka doll. Their help came in layer after layer after layer. You take up one Matrushka doll, there will be another Matrushka doll, another. So they helped us in layers. They built us our irrigation dams, our steel plants, our science and technology laboratories, our space programs, our defense. And this was a time when India did not have any foreign exchange. We didn't have any hard currency. So Russia accepted payment in rubles. We imported everything we had from you and, you accepted payment from us in rupees, not rubles, in rupees. And for that we always, I think you remember, before the reforms in 91, if you had to go abroad, you could carry at the most, I think, $14. And if you found with $0.50 more, you'd be immediately arrested and put behind bars and a ferra. So that was the time when our rupee-ruble trade really helped us. So that is something that we'll never forget. Alexei, in a speech, I mentioned about 2015, this year, being a special year because this is the 70th anniversary of the victory of the Great Patriotic War. The Great Patriotic War was also known as the Second World War. There were a number of functions. I also attended some of the functions in the Cultural Center on Perry Road. In the Second World War, a lot of countries suffered, a lot of countries are sacrificed, but if there's one country that stands out, one country that sacrificed the most, one country that suffered the most, it is easily Russia. And the victory of the Second World War is owed almost entirely to them. And here I'd also like to point out that India, people don't really realize, but we also sacrificed a lot in the Second World War. That is something that we have to recognize. Soldiers and civilians who lost their lives directly or indirectly in the Second World War. And they fought everywhere. They fought on the beaches, they fought in the sea, they fought under the sea, they fought in the air, on land, in Africa, in Europe, in Asia, and 2 million died, Indians. And I'm from Bengal. In Bengal at that time in 1943, there was a great Bengal famine in which about 3 million Bengalis lost their lives, which was also because of the Second World War. So we both sacrificed, we both suffered. And because of our perseverance, we can both share this great victory over fascism and Nazism. So, I'd just like to end by saying that Russia and India have always stood together, shoulder to shoulder, through thick and thin, through good and bad. That's the way it's always been in the past, and that's the way it will be in the future. So, Musiba and last with dunya.
2 दिन के बाद इनका नेशनल डे है, इनको बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद देता हूँ और एलेक्स भैया को बहुत प्यार, जो इनके काउंसिल जनरल यहाँ पर है. Lot of wishes and best of luck for the annual day, I mean the national day. It's a pleasure always to be part of any function that they host. They are fantastic people. I've been going to a lot of functions that they used to have at Pedder Road. Pedder Road पे उनका एक कल्चरल सेंटर है और वहाँ पर जाकर पिक्चरें वगैरह बहुत सारे देखी हैं. बस आया हूँ मुबारकबाद देने के लिए. बहुत अच्छा रहा. मेरे बच्चे को इज्जत अफजाई की, उनको अवार्ड दिया, सारे ऑडियंस ने उनको सिलेक्ट किया एज द बेस्ट डेब्यूटेंट. शुक्रगुजार हूँ और शुक्र मानता हूँ कि मेरे बेटे को इतना प्यार मिल रहा है.
अभी टाइगर का वो जिंदगी में जो
आ रहा हूँ मैं,
इतना बहुत पॉपुलर ये हो रहा है उसका गाना, तो अभी नेक्स्ट क्या ऐसे ही मतलब करेगा फिर और इन फ्यूचर यंगस्टर को
करेगा? बच्चों को जितना ये बताएं कि जिंदा रहो, जियो और मजे लो जिंदगी का, हेल्थ रखें और डिसिप्लिन रखें. बाकी तो समझे वाली बात है, हेल्थ और डिसिप्लिन से बड़ा कुछ नहीं है. बड़ों की इज्जत करें और अपने काम से मतलब रखें, दूसरों का पैर काट के अपने आप को लंबा ना करें.
और अभी टाइगर का बागी भी स्टार्ट हो गया है तो उसका तो अभी कब तक उसको कंप्लीट होने का?
वो नेक्स्ट ईयर रिलीज होगी ब्रो, अभी शुरू किया है.
और आपकी प्रोजेक्ट की बात करें तो
मेरा जज्बा की शूटिंग 21 तारीख से और ब्रदर्स का वो ट्रेलर रिलीज है कल अगस्त 14 को. पिक्चर भी रिलीज हो रहा है. काम अच्छा किया, लगे प्यार बड़ा ब्रो. It's always a pleasure to work with somebody like Aishwarya Rai. She's a fantastic actress and a lovely lady, and my best friends, not my best friends, but my little B's wife. I think we have equal tuning. We think the same way. And we are working together. It's a beautiful feeling. Shukriya. All the best, Vindu.
थैंक यू.
मेरी रशियन जो है वो, यानी आप लोगों को ये समझा दूं कि मेरी चूत रूस की गवारिश, यानी निम्न होगा मतलब थोड़ी सी. तो बीवी रशियन है. ये बीवी का रशियन का नेशनल डे होता तो 12 तारीख को है, पर मुंबई में ये आज मनाया जा रहा है. और मेरी बीवी अभी रशिया गई है मेरी बेटी के साथ छुट्टियां मनाने, तो उन्होंने मुझे बोला प्लीज पहुंच जाना अपने ससुराल वालों के पास. तो मैं पहुंच चुका हूँ.
अब तो रशिया आपको भी आता होगा आई थिंक.
दादा रूस की गवारिश में नहीं है, टिपिया गवारिश यानी इसका मतलब तुझे आती है. देखो, जब हम रशिया जाते हैं तो जब मैं मॉस्को में लैंड होता हूँ तो जब बस में चढ़ता हूँ तो मिठुन दा के गाने बजते हैं. आई एम अ डिस्को डांसर, और सब लोग वो गाने जानते हैं. तो ये लोग हमारे देश के साथ हमारे एक जान है. और मुझे लगता है कि हिंदुस्तानी और रशियन जो भाईचारा है वो जिंदगी भर कभी टूट नहीं सकता. और मैं तो वही कभी चाहूंगा भी नहीं, ये मैं चाहूंगा ये हमेशा क्लोजर ही क्लोजर रहे, सारी दुनिया क्लोज हो जाए और सबके सब प्यार से रहे. यही हमारी दुआ है. नहीं, मैं नहीं गया आईफा. मैं देखो अभी सिर्फ डैड की पिक्चर के पीछे पड़े हम लोग, और कल परसों में वो फाइनलाइज हो जाएगा कि कौन करने वाला है वो रोल. जब वो हो जाएगा तो फिर आप लोग को मिलेंगे और बताएंगे. और एक प्ले है हमारा हेलो डार्लिंग, उसके पीछे बहुत ही हार्ड काम है, पंगा ले लिया है. पंजाबी का प्ले है और 11 जुलाई को उसका प्रीमियर है रंग शारदा में. तो बहुत समझ में आया कि प्ले वाले भाई महान हो आप लोग. हम एक्टर ठीक है जो पिक्चरों में एक कट करके वापस कर लेते हैं, ये तो कट ही नहीं है भाई. तो इट्स स्कैरी. अरे पहले ये प्ले तो कर ले अच्छी तरह, बहुत ही मुश्किल है. मैं और शिवा जी हैं और साथ में गोवा जी की बेटी है पायल, जो बहुत प्ले कर चुकी है. वो जब एक्टिंग करती है तो हमें लगता है यार हमें कुछ शायद हमारे अंदर ही कोई कमी है जो इतनी खतरनाक एक्टिंग करती है. ये विभा करके एक लड़की है, मनीष करके एक लड़का, तो बहुत फनी प्ले है. लेकिन आई एम श्योर हम लोग भी कर ही लेंगे भाई. रुक जाओ. यानी कल हमारी एक मीटिंग है. जो एक्टर हमें लगता है कि वो दारा सिंह लग सकता है, सिर्फ उनसे ही मिले. अब वो अगर उन्हें पसंद आ गया तो आप सबको भी जान जाएंगे, सारी दुनिया जान जाएगी. और मैं बस ये चाहता हूँ कि डैड की पिक्चर बने, दुनिया देखेंगे वो कैसे इंसान थे. और वो भी रशिया गए थे, हिंदुस्तान का फ्लैग उन्होंने रशिया में कॉमनवेल्थ टाइम्स में फ्लैग चल के वो आगे चल रहे थे. और पूरी इंडिया की रशिया हमारे लिए बहुत क्लोज है. अभी मैं काउंसिल जनरल से मिला हूँ और मैं भी खुद 15 जुलाई को रशिया जा रहा हूँ. लव यू ऑल.